evening and welcome back. We are ready to begin our workshop session as it is 6:09 p.m. and we still have a full quorum with council members Clay, Karn, Allen, and Gay. And I'm Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. The first item on our agenda is a presentation from AARP regarding age-friendly communities.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kay Sabetta with AARP Georgia, and I want to thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you today. I was saying when I walked in that I had been here before, except for I didn't realize that City Hall was right next to the noodle company. So, you know, food always gets you every time when you're going somewhere. All right, I'll get started.
Ms. Vet, I believe your presentation is right up there.
I have
and
my.
we can see it.
You can see
here
it?
as well. Yes. We can see it on our
Okay,
screens.
great. If we could go to the next slide, that would be great. I have a video. It's about a minute long. I didn't bring any popcorn. I figured you guys, you know, were okay. And it does a really good job in talking about what I'm going to briefly talk to you about on what an age-friendly community is about. Thank you. Can you hear it?
Well, there's closed captioning, so.
Oh, awesome. For your attention. I love that video. It's so happy because the topic that I'm going to talk to you about sometimes is sort of like a loom and gloom, but I'm here to share some good news and you know, that we can do this together. So America is aging at a rapid rate. We don't have to look to other countries anymore like China, Japan. It's happening right here. And 1 in 3 people is 50 plus, 57. And in 8 years, believe it or not, we will have more older adults that are 65 and older than we have children that are under 18. And that's the first time in our nation's history. I'm here to tell you that, you know, we're in this together. We were invited by the World Health Organization to work on this mammoth task in partnership with the World Health Organization's global initiative on age-friendly states and communities. And so we would love to invite, next slide, please. No. The one right after that, yes. We would love to invite your city, the city of College Park, to join us. And not far from you, East Point is an age-friendly community. Atlanta is an age-friendly community. City of Decatur, City of Tucker, City of Clarkston, and I know I have a slide with the list, but we would love for you to join us. Next slide. And when I mean by joining us, thank you, great. We're really asking for a formal membership. It's free to join the AARP network of age-friendly communities. We know that you're working on the same things we are, you're just calling it something else, just like people call Pepsi, Coke, Mountain Dew, pop, soda. They're all talking about the same thing, but they have a different word for it. So we know that housing and transportation and public spaces, are important to you. And we would like for us to work in partnership with you and be your age-friendly lens on everything that you are addressing. It requires a letter from the mayor. For cities, it's the top elected official, so the mayor, and a membership application, which is a couple of pages. It's about 3 to 4 pages, which we are more than happy to assist you with filling that out. We also have great samples of other cities and communities that have submitted applications. That way you don't have to spend a lot of time on that. We can assist you with that. There is no fee to join the Age-Friendly Network. You would be sending your documents to me. It's much easier. And it takes about, we say less than 30 days, but about 2 to 3 weeks to join, to submit your application. Next slide, please. And when we talk about or refer to you joining the network, I wanted to share this in advance so that there is no surprises. Just about everybody has, I don't know of any community that has not been accepted. We're all really in this together and trying to tackle issues of housing, transportation, inclusion, and all of that. So learning from each other, best practices. College Park is unique in that it's right by the international airport, Atlanta's Hatfield Airport, the busiest airport in the world. There's a lot of best practices that we could learn from you and others in the country and globally too, since AARP is sharing this with other cities around the world. Once you're enrolled, we know that you've done surveys on your community. We have templates to assist you with that. You can just provide the same documents as well as your action plan. We know you have a strategic plan and coming up with a report. Next slide. I mentioned that our approach is from an age-friendly lens. So, for instance, sidewalks are important to all of us. So whether you are in a stroller or you're in a scooter or a bike or a wheelchair, pedestrian safety is important to all of us regardless of how old you are. Next slide. We have great resources, and when we talk about age-friendly, there are really 8 areas of livability that all communities around the world and in the U.S. Think are most important. Housing, transportation, public spaces and buildings, being able to get in and out. Social participation is really important. Just because folks are getting older doesn't mean that they don't want to be involved. They're running for office. Dr. Fauci is 80 years old, and we still need people like him. And I think a week ago, I forget the lady's name, but she's 100 years old, and she's retiring from the National Park Service and started working there in her 80s. So, I mean, I think it's awesome that we have these amazing, great examples of older adults in our communities that are giving back. We know that they live here in College Park, and we can't wait to share the stories that you are, sharing amongst yourself, but we would love to share those with others. Respect and social isolation, health services and community support. I had no idea that you had the largest private school, the Woodruff Academy. As I'm researching and talking to community leaders like yourself, I'm learning so much about Georgia and just the wonderful tapestry of stories. I mentioned that I had been here a few years ago, and went to Noodle, enjoyed myself, and enjoyed Main Street, and didn't know that I would be back here in a few years to talk to you about joining us. Next slide, please. This is just an example of the great benefits that you would enjoy being part of our network. I understand you had a very successful senior summit last year. We are definitely going to be part of that if I have to gate crash. I've just told Lisa already that we're going to be involved. We're going to figure out how we're going to work together. But we're not going to wait till, I think it's November. We're going to, anything you're doing next month, May is Older Americans Month. If you have things that you are planning to do or are doing, please think of us and see how we can support you. Next slide. This is a list of our communities that is growing. We're over 70 communities. 3 of them are regions. Believe it or not, number 15, Macon-Bibb. Macon-Bibb was the first age-friendly community in the country. So, we know that we are always trailblazing and doing stuff right here in Georgia. So, by adding you to the list, it's helping us maintain that. We're number 1 in the country in the age-friendly work that we're doing, and we were the first state in the country to enroll entire regions. Our first region was the Southwest Regional Commission that has 14 counties, so all those 14 counties are now designated age-friendly communities. And Southern Georgia Regional Commission was our second with 18 counties, and most recently 16 counties including Columbus, from River Valley. And today we just got the news that Coastal Georgia Regional Commission is going to be joining us as our 4th region. So we'd love to add you to the list. On the next slide, we are determined to be an age-friendly state, so I'd love to be number 10. We've already contacted the governor's office, and he has given us the green light, so we're working with the staff to do that. There are 9 states that are age-friendly: New York, Massachusetts, Colorado, Florida, Michigan, Maine, New Jersey, California, and Minnesota, in that order, are our age-friendly states. The U.S. Virgin Islands is a territory. AARP is in every state of the Union, including the Virgin Islands, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico. And the next slide is my contact information. Want to bring you greetings from Sandra Rose Johnson, who is my volunteer partner who couldn't be with us today, who's under the weather. And she is also my liaison for East Point. So she lives in East Point, and the mayor, Ingram, has appointed her to work with me on our age-friendly work in in East Point, but she also serves on our AARP Executive Council. Thank you so much for your attention. And
let me make sure that everyone, we get everyone's questions answered.
Okay,
So,
great.
questions for Ms. Sabetta, starting with Councilman Clay.
Make them easy
Good
now.
evening.
Good evening. Let me
Yeah,
put my
I
glasses
think
on.
it's quite a realization as to how the population is shifting age-wise in the country. And I think there are a lot of good things on the horizon. We've been talking about alternative transportation in College Park, something called pod cars, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, then there's self-driving cars, which are not quite there yet, but we're getting there. But I guess I'm kind of curious, without even looking at it, the kinds of things that we would be committing to in the questionnaire that we fill out, or the application that we fill out.
Right.
What's the flavor of that? I don't need to know the.
So no, I think
have
that's a good question. It's important to know what you're committing yourself to. The information you're currently sharing with your community and worldwide, on your strategic plan and everything that you're working on, would be a summary of what you'd put on that application. Okay. So you are doing age-friendly work, you're just calling it something else. And that's basically it. And then we're asking you to, as you're working on this, I mean, 2 years ago, we had no idea we were gonna have the pandemic, and we all had to shift and, be communicating virtually. A lot of our elder adults in the beginning were succumbing to the pandemic, and we've all had to, navigate. So, how you do that, how you did it successfully, we want to hear about that so we can share that with others.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I know, I obviously get the AARP newsletter, and
Okay,
there are
great.
a lot of good things in there, a lot of good hints and
Thank you.
communication of good information. So I'll just pass it on with that.
Thank
Councilman
you.
Carr?
All right, thanks for coming out.
Thank you, sir.
I remember last year I got that first
Did you get your envelope?
AARP envelope in the mail.
I did
And,
too, before I started working for AARP.
I
So.
said, okay, I'm 50, and my doctor said, well, you're not under warranty anymore, so you gotta make some adjustments. And I said to myself, wait a minute, I don't feel that old, but I am a granddad now, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
congratulations.
so a couple of things. Obviously, we have a lot of seniors in our community, and we try
Yes.
to find points to make sure our seniors are well covered and taken care of. I know I don't know if it's coming up tonight, but we had an issue with one of our senior towers in the Housing Authority, and we've got a community event coming up, and it might compromise some of the seniors' mobility during that day, and we're going to fix that, hopefully. But little stuff that comes up, I see, I remember we had a development that's coming now, and I wanted to see some adult fitness.
Housing
fitness,
development?
I'm sorry.
You said like a housing development coming up?
This is a new development, and in their recreation area, I wanted to see some of that adult fitness equipment possibly, in addition to something for the kids, because health disparities here are pretty surprising.
Yeah.
So the other thing I see is, I understand you guys have the largest circulation magazine in the United States.
We do?
Well, College Park is a small city in terms of geography. However, we're pretty big when it comes to being the front doorstep of Georgia.
Right.
So one of the things I would like to see, you've got the second largest convention center in the state of Georgia, and I haven't seen one AARP magazine available in there.
Well, we can change that.
Well, that
I hope.
sounds good.
We would love to host an event there. I think I was telling Lisa that we were a sponsor for Women on the Move a few years ago that had an event there. But yeah, you're right.
And I'm glad you mentioned hosting an event there, because one thing this year I've been talking about is upping the marketing at the convention center. And from my point of view, I think the GICC should get just about every single senior-oriented convention group in Georgia, and here's why. We're one of the few convention centers that has absolutely, positively no stairs.
Oh, zero
It's
entryways?
flat everywhere you go.
That's awesome.
Everywhere you go. So that's a
That
big
right
selling
there
point for our
is-
seniors.
That right there is kind of like what I was talking about. Stuff you take for
Well,
granted.
and it's something that, like Ms. Tyus, see, we got some selling points that we don't use, that we got to really push on, because that makes a difference. All the other
It
convention
does.
centers, they got stairs. So,
It does. That's huge.
yeah, so something to look at. And, well, we're glad to, obviously this is a no-brainer, I think, so.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. We
Glad
would
to have
love
you.
to talk to you about, including us if there's a opportunity for us to host or co-host. We have, I think, close to between 300 and 500 volunteers just in the Metro Atlanta area. And then not to mention, our members in the state, that's over 1 million. So, and they're being added every day.
Absolutely. All
So
right.
we'd love to do that, yes. Please think
Okay.
of us.
All right.
Thank you.
Councilman Allen?
Thank you very much for coming
Thank you.
here.
You're
And
welcome.
I I guess I got my first letter about years ago.
Don't do that. Don't do that,
And
'cause
yes.
guess what?
But,
8 years from now,
and you know,
we're gonna be in the majority. You won't have, you know?
appreciate all your good work. One question here on page 6, you said member application free, and then it has an asterisk by it. What is
Oh,
the,
wait, I'm gonna look at that.
what is the asterisk?
Were you just
Member
emphasizing that it was free?
application.
Like, this is great that it's free? Or, yeah, no, I saw that, yeah.
Oh, free, like there is nothing to pay.
Okay, but it didn't
Yeah.
have an asterisk. I was
it's-
looking down
Oh,
below
yeah,
to see.
okay, you know what,
But
thanks.
it's gonna you know, so,
Councilmember, thank you for bringing that up. I'm gonna take the asterisk out now.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
Because that's a really good point that you bring out, because they're supposed to be some little asterisk key explaining what that is.
Like for
but-
the next 30 days or something.
Yeah. No, free means free, no cost, no cost.
and I appreciate all the information. It's good to see the charts and how the age groups change, but that's all I had.
Thank you.
Councilman Gay?
I don't have a question, but I also would like to thank you for your service and
Thank you.
look forward to supporting you.
Okay, great, and I will be sending out some information to you. I know that pedestrian safety is a concern to you as our community leaders. We're gonna be hosting a complete streets webinar with our first region, Southwest Georgia Regional Commission. We will have some folks from our other age-friendly communities, Columbus, their Director of Engineering, GDOT, and Macon, to just kind of share. Macon and Atlanta are the only Vision Zero cities, meaning that we're working towards having 0 fatalities. But this is important for all of us to work together. So I'll make sure that, you can attend, and if not, send someone so that we can continue to work on this together. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Betta. I know that this is, I think one city you left off was Union City. I think when you were
Yes,
rifling
is
off all the ones in Metro
Is
Atlanta.
this being recorded? Because I don't want
They're on the
Mayor
bottom of
Williams
the,
coming
They're on
after
the list,
me.
But I know that when she was saying
Oh,
all
they're
the
number
folks.
27.
Right. I was just saying when you were listing the ones near us.
Oh, yes.
So I wouldn't want to forget Mayor Vince and
No,
the whole
he's gonna
council
come
there.
after me.
But I think this is, it really is in line of what we're trying to
Yes.
do as we build the community that we deserve. And we want to make sure that every aspect of our community is considered and taken into account as we move forward. And I think that learning from our peers who are doing work in this area and sharing what we've done is just a natural fit. And so I'm hearing that there's consensus from the body to move forward on this. Is that correct?
Yes.
We're all seniors here.
All right.
All right,
You know
we are
what?
in the
Honestly,
majority.
I'm actually.
Well, minus the mayor.
But you know what? I am a member of AARP.
And let me
because it was
just
supposed to be
say,
a cheaper cell phone bill.
yeah,
All right.
and let me just say, if you are old enough to vote, we changed it. If you're old enough to vote, you can be a member, so, you don't have to wait till you're 50, because the ageism is real and age discrimination is real, so we don't,
All
we
right.
want people to not be embarrassed to say how old they are. It's a blessing to get to 50, because some people didn't make it to 25, so thank you so much, and I will be calling you on that GICC 0 entrances and
All right.
helping us to teach others how to do that. That's a great tip. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
The next item on the agenda, are we moving?
We're withdrawing that presentation based on a call that we got earlier today.
Okay. All right. So that'll be individual conversations.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that concludes our workshop session at 6:33. So we will see everybody at 7:30.
Okay.